Hey everybody, I just wanted to pop on spontaneously because tomorrow we have an alignment with 7 planets and a new moon. And it is also February 28th, which means there's a space, in a sense, energetically within the calendar until we reach March 1st. And this space is an opportunity to move into what we call the 0 point frequency. And what's happening is that we, as on a personal level and on a collective level, are at a point of choice. And so many people are talking about this split happening in humanity, this big change happening in 2025. And there's also a lot of concern and worry. Well, what if I don't pick the right timeline? Or what if I vibrate at the high frequency and my family does not? Or will they be left behind? Or what will happen? Or will people become invisible who are not in my reality? And in some senses, there is some truth to that, in that energies that are deeply not in relationship to your frequency are going to start to disappear and to fall out of your life. But any really strong, profound relationship that is part of your soul family and your soul group, you are going to move in a collective together through this ascension process. So you can let go of that worry and that fear. But many of us are the pioneers, in a sense, leaders in a way, to pierce the veil into this new state of being, which is a flow state. And this flow state is where we consciously, through intention and choice, and this is part of the choice point, choose to operate within our current reality, which is based deeply on linear time, into a more harmonic, pure time state. As you can see behind me, I've got this altar I'm starting to put together. I've got the jaguar, which I saw in the Yucatan. I actually saw a jaguar. I've got the Divine Mother representing Lady Guadalupe that I saw there. And I traveled from the Yucatan all the way to the Baja, to tuning to the Mayan frequency. And I had an opportunity to meet with many wisdom keepers, many elders from different tribes who were sharing their wisdom with us. And in this process, there's this deep teaching about how we are now collapsing the artificial timeline. So when I talk about choosing between the organic and the artificial timeline, we may think of artificial intelligence. We may think of an opportunity where we get deeply embedded in technology and we kind of lose sight of the organic timeline. And that is part of what's happening. But simultaneously, what's happening is the collapsing of that timeline, which is interesting. We call it a timeline because line in itself means linear. And what we're moving into is much more holographic. It is like a sphere. It's not linear. It does not have edges. It's cyclical. It has rhythm. And it's attuning back to and really hearing and bringing back online the wisdom of the elders, the indigenous ones, and these energies that are helping us right now to remember our own divinity. And what that will entail is that we will understand and remember through intention and through aligning with this flow state of this organic energy of a new way of time, which is actually the ancient way of time, to move into this flow state. And a flow state is when you are fully in alignment through spiraled energy, in a vibration that brings you into a state of synchronicity. And you surrender, but you're still moving through strong intention. And as you're doing that, instead of you seeking a particular frequency to align with, you are becoming that frequency. And the convergence of energies are coming toward you. And then you become in alignment, and that energy, in a sense, chooses you rather than you choosing it. And there's just a nuance in that. And so, what I experienced with Debashri through our travels were things that I thought maybe 10, 15 years ago, when some of my spiritual teachers were sharing information with me that sounded outlandish and almost impossible, were actually not only possible, but happened to me, that I actually had the experience. So some of these experiences are a deep connection on a telepathic level, communicating telepathically. the idea of bilocation, where something comes into another energy, or you're able to bilocate or time travel somewhere else, the frequency of shape shifting itself, the energy of disintegrating and reintegrating, which is also part of bilocation and time travel, and spontaneous healing. And some of these things or even moving objects may seem, or energy, or people, or bringing things into experience at a very rapid pace. And we might think, okay, that all sounds really good, but in my day-to-day life, how does that happen and how do I get there? Well, we're moving very rapidly there. And for some of us who our work, such as my work for the last 36 years, has been about attuning to these frequencies, have been able, and this is not coming from an ego place, I want to make sure you're not hearing it that way, because I'm not deeply humbled that I had these experiences. But what's so beautiful about them is in the receiving of them, I know them to be true. I can share them, I can give proof to them. And in sharing the stories, the energy, and the information, it is like you begin to know that that is so. You see it, right? And it's sort of like that story when the ships are coming here, and the Native Americans can't see them until one person sees them, and then everybody sees them. It's until a few people across the planet start to begin to have these experiences, it becomes a possibility of a reality for the collective. And then we make this very beautiful quantum leap. And so we, during this planetary alignment right now, in this new moon, we are planting seeds for something really powerful and important. It's truly an evolutionary process collectively within our consciousness, but also within our body and our biology, and the way we are able to operate in actual time and space. And so, what I want to do with you guys on Monday, when we start the Choice Point Light Code, is to open up a container. And when I open up that container through ceremony, we're going to create a very beautiful, sacred, safe space for you to delve deep into the receiving of the activations and the transmissions from the cosmic beings, the star beings, the angel Raphael, spontaneous healing, telepathic communication, bilocation, shape shifting, time travel, all of these energies, and experience them on a deep, profound vibrational level as it moves into the cells of your being. And as that happens, there's this tingling, this awakening, this remembering that that is possible. And then you'll notice you'll drop into 3D, into your human experience. There may be something going on, and it may be so intense, or there may be so many triggers, or may be related to family, that you're not able to lift yourself out in order to move into the process that you need to do to move the energy. And that's where the deep learning is. And sometimes it's not until we extract ourselves that we can bring in the processes that I'm going to be sharing and teaching with you in the code, that then you can apply. And so when things are more smooth and easy, or you're moving through a magical moment, or you're in nature, you get to start to practice these processes that I'm going to share with you in order to start to move into this flow state of synchronicity until they start to become second nature to you. And you reawaken something that's dormant but pure and alive and has always been within you, but that we have been cut off from because we've been operating in a time system that is different than the one in which we are organically meant to operate in. We have been in this Gregorian calendar, this Roman calendar that is very is not harmonic in any way. It is deeply out of balance. And so everything in relationship to it is out of balance. But as we step into this new, more pure time and way of operating in time in this synchronistic way, and these energies that connected with the teachings of the wisdom keepers, the indigenous ones, the cosmic beings, the angels, the beings of light, we start to move into this flow state. And so when we talk about this choice point, it's a choice to choose through your intention if you're going to drop into fear, anxiety, depression, panic over the state of the world, contract, get into your black box, disconnect from nature, disconnect from those around you, and kind of isolate. Or if you're going to be like, okay, I'm going to move into this flow state of synchronicity. I'm going to awaken the energies within my being. I'm going to focus and learn how to do what I need to do to ascend into these higher frequencies. And then you become the vibration that has the capacity to attune to that harmonic frequency, that energy, and to be able to see it. And once you see it, and you are in alignment with it, it rushes into you. It's sort of like you're the gatekeeper. When you open the gate, the waters just flood through into you. But if you keep the gate closed, they can't come. But you first have to be able to see that the water is there in order to open the gate. So, what we'll be doing in the Choice Point Light Code is sharing with you these incredible stories and how all of this happened, and then how you can begin to align with that energy so that when the choice comes, you can simply just make it. You make the decision through your intention to choose to be on the synchronic, harmonic, pure time vibration versus the old one. And what you'll see and notice is that there'll be chaos perhaps around you and the world, but it will kind of be falling behind you. It's almost like you'll be just ahead of it just enough that you'll be have some conscious awareness perhaps of it. You'll notice it's there, but it'll be kind of falling behind you, and you will be focused on an energy in which you are aligning with a spiraled frequency that's bringing you into this synchronic flow state versus being on this linear time where you have to go through these processes of the chaotic vibrations in order to get to the other side. Doesn't mean we're bypassing it. It just means we're elevating ourselves into a higher frequency. So during this energy right now of the planetary alignment and the new moon and the end of February, from the calendar standpoint, we're kind of missing, right? The 28 days in February, we're missing some time before we hit March 1st. And this is a very, very potent and powerful time to decide to step into these frequencies, to make this choice from a place of curiosity, from a place of love, from a place of intention for yourself personally and for the collective. So on Monday, which is March 3rd, which is 3/3, until the spring equinox, I'm going to open this beautiful container in the Choice Point Light Code. And there will be hundreds of people in it. And we were going to sync up together. And I'm going to share with you, along with Devishri, the magic that we experienced, the travels, the beauty, and how we felt and attuned to telepathic communication, the ability to bilocate, to time travel, to shift time, to open time, to move into synchronicity, flow, to have spontaneous healing. And show you through channeling, through attuning to these frequencies, through the activations, how you too can do this, and then how we can collectively harmonize ourselves within the group of our spiritual community to create momentum that not only are we making this personal choice for this higher timeline, and I don't even want to call it higher, and I'll address that because there is no hierarchy, there's no right or wrong timeline. You're always exactly where you want to be. But if you're attuning to this, perhaps you're a pioneer, perhaps you're a star seed, perhaps you're a light worker, perhaps you've chosen at this time to be one on that spiral to hold the vibration for yourself and your family and the collective, and to step into the magic because the magic is so much fun and the synchronicity is so much fun. So if you're panicked about what's going on in the world or the news and you just don't know what to do or where to turn, and you're like, okay, I'm really ready to step into this flow state of synchronicity and to learn these teachings, then we would love to have you. And so it starts Monday, and you can register in the links below. And again, it will end on the equinox, which will be a very special day and activation for everyone. And I'm just every single time I teach a light code, and there's 55 total, this will be the 25th, which of course is the mirror of 52, which is perfect as it connects with the Mayan energy. 52 is a very sacred number in the Mayan calendar, and it is also happening in 2025, which is the 25th code, which is 9, which is the year of completion, which is also a very important number in the Mayan calendar and the energies below. And we're going to be working working with as above, so below, as within, so without, to come into that 0 point synchronicity of magic. All right, so just wanted to share with you that I think the most important thing that I want everyone to remember is that wherever you are and whatever decisions you make is divinely perfect for who you are and where you are in this moment. That you are not left behind, nor your loved ones. That this is not a process where we ascend up into the sky, and if you didn't make it because your vibration wasn't high enough, you're somehow lost and not part of it. There's so much more nuance to that, and it is that thinking that's also hierarchy, right? And it comes from judgment. I'm doing more than you, I'm more evolved, I'm more spiritual. It's not about that at all, but it is about conscious choice, and it is about the awareness of how powerful you are, and that you can make these choices to align with this frequency, and that you may just be tuning in right now to this because you're ready to do that. And if you are, I'd love to be there with you on this journey. Okay, so I love you guys all so much. Remember, you're beautiful, you're divine, and you're powerful. I'm getting everything set up to start the code on Monday. And tomorrow for everybody, this man, his name is Gorilla. He is a wisdom keeper. He's traveled all over the world, including meeting with the Dalai Lama and many incredible spiritual leaders around the planet. He's one of 50 elders who meet regularly to gather to bring peace to the planet. Will be joining us for an opening ceremony where he will share with us a Mayan ceremony to just get the energies flowing as we connect to this new way of time. All right, I love you all so much. I hope you have the absolutely most beautiful and magical day, and talk soon. And don't forget, if you're on YouTube listening to this, please subscribe. Okay, take care. Bye.